Welcome everybody to the update for Barrels for Hope. Hope everyone's having a great night. We've got a few quick updates for you. Then we've got our drawings to get to. I know what everybody's excited about. We've got our allocated bottle drawings and our drawing for the Middle West pick. We're going to be selecting 5 people to go along in the Middle West pick. That's going to be really exciting. Then we'll open it up to everybody and see what kind of questions you guys got out there. So first off, right off the bat, we'll get the boring stuff out of the way. I'm going to update everybody on our 501c3 status. We did the refiling with the long form. The IRS needs their paperwork and wants extra money from us. That happened about 3-ish weeks ago, and they are still running 4 to 6 weeks for processing. So I'm not expecting to hear anything initially from them for probably another couple of weeks, at which point they can request more information from us or go ahead and give us our approval, which is what I hope. We're still in a holding pattern on that. Lance, do you have a quick update on our barrel picks?
Yeah, what's up, guys? Hope you guys are having a great night. Barrel picks, we've got, you guys didn't see the post, the Elijah Craig barrel proof, the very first pick we did, that has been dumped. So I'm told by Narav that it's usually 4 to 5 weeks. Don't hold us to that, but that's what we're expecting, 4 to 5 weeks, which is quite honestly ahead of schedule because Heaven Hill's been really behind. And I know we are just getting some picks we did from like last September. So for those to be dumped already is exciting. So we're hoping end of June, maybe beginning of July, we're shipping those to you guys. Hard Truth barrel, they're really on time with their dumping and getting stuff to Narav. So that should definitely be mid-July, we hope. So we're right up to where you guys are going to start getting bottles, which is super exciting. Then we've only got 2 more picks to schedule this year, and we haven't secured those yet. So we're doing the Middle West pick August 26th. So for those of you that are names are drawn, just mark that on your calendar. It's August 26th, right, Joe?
Right, correct.
Yeah.
Saturday, August 26th.
Yeah, and I don't know if you I'll tell you guys, I had heard Dusty Dan talk about Middle West, and on the first pick, Joe brought the Pumpernickel Rye, which is the barrel that one of the barrels we'll be selecting. And if you guys haven't heard of it, I'm telling you right now, you're going to be blown away. It is good stuff. So I don't know if you want to talk about it, Joe, because you know those guys, and but I'm super excited about that pick.
Yeah, so the collaborative with the Maumee Valley Whiskey Society and Stuff and Whiskey, the S&W MVP pick group, we're going to be doing, there you go, Josh has got it. We're going to be doing a pick that same day. So there's a group of us actually doing 2 picks at Middle West on Saturday. Super excited about that. The first pick we did that Josh just held up sold out quick, just like all the rest of them have. And people were actually searching for it on our local secondary. So that's not, you don't usually have a, whiskey society or club pick being sought for on secondary, but it blows people's minds. And especially those that are a little timid about trying a rye in your bourbon drinkers. This is not your typical rye. This is got all the punchy strength there, dark, super dark flavors. We're going to have a little mix of, they have 30 and 53 gallon barrels. So we're going to be shooting for a 53, but we're going to taste some out of the 30s. So we'll have a really good pick of some stuff there. And it's a totally different experience.
Yeah, I think Dusty ranked maybe Dan, did you rate their sherry finish your bourbon of the year or something? Or
yeah, their cask strength sherry bourbon was my number 1 last year.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Look, JH is drinking Middle West cask strength OHLQ Pumpernickel right now.
Awesome.
So Jay knows what's up.
Yeah, so those are the kind of picks, that and Hard Truth are the kind of picks I'm super excited to be able to get you guys. I know we're all excited about it. So some different stuff that you're not able to get is the kind of stuff we're looking for. So we've had other opportunities to get other barrels that just aren't that exciting to us, so we've passed on them. So we're trying to get you guys the absolute best stuff we can get you, stuff that gets us excited. So.
The other thing, Lance, to go along with the Elijah Craig update, I know a couple of people have asked me, Lance, some of the other board members have gotten some questions about the short barrel and what exactly we're doing with that. So the short barrel, again, we don't have the bottle count yet. They did let us know they've dumped it, but we don't have bottle counts yet. We're expecting maybe 50-ish bottles out of that if we're lucky. That was a very short barrel. Everybody who is on that pick, since they were on the pick, they are going to get a chance to buy a bottle of that. And then the rest of them, we are going to do a randomizer drawing for that. So just like we do for the allocated bottles, we'll randomize everyone. We'll go down the list. Hey, do you want a short barrel bottle? Do you want a short barrel bottle? And then we'll just go on the list until we run out of bottles. The one thing we do want to encourage everyone is, we're all community here. Everybody here is also part of other communities with Lance and Josh and Dan and everyone, and even the Whiskey Society. And I want to encourage everyone to go ahead and offer up samples from that short barrel for people who don't end up getting a bottle. That would be really cool. I know I'm going to offer up some samples. I'm sure other people in the group here on the board are going to do the same. So just try and get it out there so everyone can taste it. It's such a unique experience. We want to get it out there as much as we can.
I mean, you figure if we have 40 or 50 bottles from that short barrel, if everybody who gets a bottle is willing to share 2 or 3 samples, then we all can taste it on a live stream together. You don't have to share half your bottle, but you can share a little bit, and everybody can partake and enjoy.
Yeah, you think about it, there's a portion of people here that are primary Lance's community, a portion Stuff and Whiskey, a portion Dan. We've even got like 4 or 5 members from the Whiskey Society in here. So reach out to those folks that that you already recognize in chat, and get a couple of those out there. Even 2-ounce samples, right? 2 or 3 2-ounce samples doesn't cut into the bottle that much, and everyone will have a chance to enjoy it.
Did any of you guys on the Maker's Pick want to tell everybody about that real quick? I know we did a video, but how was that? And because I didn't get to go, but how was that?
Oh yeah, we haven't streamed since then.
Yeah, we haven't streamed since that.
Oh man, okay. So I ran the video for the Maker's Pick, and I can't do all the cool effects that Lance can do. I did my best.
Oh, dude, you killed it! You killed it, man. It's great.
It was such a fun pick. I think one of the things that if you do go to Kentucky and you have a chance to tour Makers, just go on the tour. The grounds are just absolutely beautiful. And when you see the way they do what they do and how they've been doing it for so long, and then the way that they're innovating, with the stave process and now the extra aging stuff with the 12-year coming up, it's just really cool to be able to see. It gave me a newfound respect, and I already liked Makers anyways, but I had a newfound respect for that. But the pick itself is so fun because we all went in wanting dense, concentrated, rich flavors. And as we were going through the different blends, the second blend really stuck out as being really, really good. The nose particular was butterscotchy, awesome. It was just a little bright on the palate, and it didn't have quite the concentration some of us were wanting. And then we kept on pressing and trying things with the blends, and we finally asked the guy, like, how many blends is your record? Like, how far is this going to go? And he's like, well, I've had someone do 9 before. And we ended up doing 7 blends. And then the 7th blend and the second blend, which we really liked on the nose, we ended up comparing those 2. And the one that it was a 3-2 vote. We all agreed they were both very, very good. But when you get Maker's Picks, a lot of times they do lean like that caramel, chocolate, butterscotch. Sometimes like that's the space they live in, and they don't often press into the dark, rich, fruity sweetness. And somehow we got this Maker's blend to go that direction. So with time in the barrel, I cannot wait to see what this thing does. I mean, Joe, you can talk about it if you want to, but it's
Well,
one of the more
say,
maker picks I've ever tried.
Yeah, I will say that when he said they've had someone do 9 different blends, Josh immediately said we can beat that. So
Yeah. Challenge accepted.
So Mike in the chat, he was there with us, and yeah, I mean he was the one that kind of switched during the blind at the end comparing them, but we did, I think, go with the right one. It was, and you're right, Josh. It has that dark fruit jamminess that I think a lot of people really like from that other distillery down there that gets tons of hype, and you don't hardly ever see that out of the Makers products, and I think it's going to blow people's mind.
Can't wait for you guys to get it. It is.
I know. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what you guys did.
Look, I want you guys, and this is when I know we picked a good barrel. I'm looking forward to you guys getting it, but I'm looking forward to getting it. I want it. So if that's how I feel, then I feel that way about all our picks so far. And that makes me very excited, especially about this Makers pick, because like I said, I didn't know that Makers could do this. And I'm not trying to hype it up too much. It's very unique in all the Makers picks that I've tried. And even from some of their special releases, it's different even than those. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, I got to say, I know we're extremely biased, but I am extremely proud of the 4 bottles we've got coming your guys' way already. So it's exciting. I'm excited for every one of them.
Yep, and a couple of them will be coming soon.
Yep. It's going to be a good summer and fall, that's for sure.
Yep, and we're going to do a drawing here for the Middle West pick soon. And again, we're selecting 5 people from the membership to go along on that. That's going to be a fun one. We've got some other stuff we're planning for it. We're lining up a tour and tasting at Watershed. Our group, the Whiskey Society, just did a pick at Watershed last month. So they're going to hook us up there, and then we got a couple places that this guy, called Jason C, introduced me to down there in Columbus, and they got a pretty couple places with a pretty amazing whiskey selection. So we're going to have a fun time for everybody gets selected down there, and we do have a couple hotel options too. So whoever does get selected, Kim will be posting a couple hotel options. We're going to get an itinerary together. So if you can come and stay both nights, that's great. If not, that's fine too. We're going to have a fun time in Columbus. All right. Anything else you guys wanted to do an update before we get to the drawings and the Q&A with our group?
I don't think so. I think I'm good, Joe.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's go ahead and Lance, do you have that ready? You want to get some drawings done, and then we'll just open it up to everybody, and we'll just have a talk and hang out for a little bit.
That sounds good. We'll do the allocated bottle first. I don't. Let's see.
Oh, do you want me to read off the list?
Yeah. I don't have that list in front of me, so yeah. Why don't we tell them what's on there?
I got it. So we got, I know there's, been a little bit of chatter out there that the last couple of months, people weren't as excited about some of them, which is, expected for the time of year. We got some pretty decent ones. We got some that I know I would want this time. So we do have 1 E.H. Taylor straight rye. So that's pretty cool. 2 I.W. Harper 15s, which last year went allocated here in Ohio for us. So I don't know if you guys can get I.W. Harper 15, but I can't now. 6 Heaven Hill Bottle and Bonds, which is really allocated in Ohio. We have to trade for those. 3 Henry McKenna 10 years and 2 Blantons. So the elusive horsey. We got a couple elusive horsies.
Giddy up.
Yeah.
All right. Let me bear with me. When you see the randomizer on the screen, just let me know.
Well, it went on the screen, then it went away.
Okay, cool. All right. Hold on. All right. So can you see it?
Yep.
Here we
All
go.
right. All right, here we go.
There we go.
All right, there's our.
Can we read it? Let's see. All right, who's got better eyes than me that can read that?
There's John Mostick, Ray Warren, Baker Drinks, J.H., Matt Drennan, Chris David, John Peets, Cody Renwick, Benham Roberts, Thomas Snyder, Michael Ackley,
Mike.
Adam McKnight, UP Bourbon Guy, and Chad Gazinski.
Awesome. Well, we got JH in the chat. Jay, congratulations. We got Mike in the chat too. Mike, congratulations.
Sweet, man.
Top dogs in the chat. Lots of people.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
All right,
Awesome.
perfect.
Cool. Congratulations, guys. That's a pretty decent list to pick from.
Yeah, I don't know if Bill can talk, but do you guys want to remind everybody how we're doing it now?
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully you can hear me, and I apologize for being in the car. I am not on the run from law enforcement. I'm actually on my way to do a barrel pick with Jason from Mash and Drum tomorrow morning. So Lance will get me those 14 names and email addresses. They will all get an email from me sometime over the weekend, giving you an opportunity to respond with your desired priority order of those bottles. And then we'll work off of that. My one request is, if you're expecting an email, please check your spam. About half the group that I emailed last month had the email sitting in their spam and didn't see it. I had to reach out on Discord to get them to go find it. So you will see an email before the weekend is over. If you haven't seen it by the end of the weekend and you're expecting it, check your spam folder.
Yes. Actually, and I want to remind everybody in the chat watching now and anybody watching the recap, not only check your spam settings for anything coming from Barrels of Hope. So it'll be Bill at Barrels of Hope, Lance at Barrels of Hope, Joe at Barrels of Hope, all that. Like, check that and make sure that is set to not spam. But also don't forget about your Patreon emails. There's still some people that the Patreon notices are going to spam. So I know none of you guys want to miss out on any of this kind of stuff. And when your bottles are getting out there, the cool stuff we've got coming up, if you get selected for a pick. So make sure you're checking for your Patreon settings. Check your spam for Patreon emails and Barrels for Hope emails. So.
Yeah, and huge thanks to Bill for helping us streamline. We're trying to make it easier and easier every time we do this for you guys. And Bill's been doing an amazing job with that. So
yeah, so Bill, Lance, and Narav work together. We have a newer process we're going to do, and we're going to see how it works this month and next month, and hopefully get those bottles out to you guys a little quicker. And the communication piece, we're pretty sure was the spam issue. So that should solve the communication piece. And then with our new processes that those guys worked out, should get to you guys in a timely manner there.
yeah, but you guys are definitely going to want to make sure that spam, you guys are looking in that spam folder before we send out bottles, because I haven't even talked to Bill about this, but we need to confirm everybody's ship to address before we start shipping out bottles. So if it goes to your spam folder, we've got to use what's on Patreon. And I know some of you are sending bottles to a friend in another state. So definitely be looking for something from us on that.
The other thing, and I don't know if it was mentioned before, part of that new process is you guys are actually going to get an invoice from Barrels for Hope for that. So we're cutting out having to coordinate with A1. We're just going to get them all from A1, and then you guys will reimburse us. And then we're gonna coordinate A1 shipping those to you. So there's a little bit of issues last time, making sure you had like the correct contact number, correct how you're gonna pay A1 and all that. Don't worry about that. Reggie's already miles beyond where we were on the treasurer side of things, and he's going to be able to invoice you, and it should go pretty smooth.
Yeah, you guys should all be glad Reggie is on board. We have finally got a competent treasurer at the helm, so
we got
happy
some
for that.
extra control here. Bill's kind of helping us streamline some stuff. Reggie's like, okay, taking the crayons away from Josh and I and actually doing things the right way. And then Kim is kind of keeping me in check with all our scheduling our events. So it's working pretty well.
And I do want to say, and Bill can speak to this because he's actually done it, but if you're watching this and you're in Patreon and you need to have an address go somewhere else other than your main living address for restriction purposes or whatever, you have an out-of-state proxy, whatnot, I know for a fact that you can go into Patreon and you can designate addresses, different addresses for different Patreon communities. And Bill has actually done this, so I know he can speak to it, but that is possible. So just in case, this would be a good preemptive strike to go in there and make sure that wherever Barrels for Hope is in your Patreon community support, you go into it specifically and set the address for where you would like the bottles to go, just in case we miss your communications.
Yeah, and Josh is right. That can be done. Although in the last month, I asked each member when they picked a bottle. Some actually wanted to pick it up at A1. For the ones that wanted it shipped, I made them give me an address, and I validated it wasn't in one of the states we can't ship to. So I don't think we'll rely on the Patreon email, the Patreon address. I'll just validate addresses for those that choose to have a bottle shipped.
Cool.
Perfect.
All right.
Perfect.
Well, I think that kind of squares that all away. Lance, do you want to queue up and find out who's going to good old Columbus, Ohio?
Yeah, let's do it. So we're doing 5 again, guys, which we're super
5.
excited about. So
It's a big pit crew, but it's going to be a big bunch of fun.
It's gonna
Looking
be so
forward to
fun.
whoever can come on this. And again, if you get picked and you can't make it, we'll be messaging you guys. Just let us know and we can go to the next person in the list. But yeah, this is going to be a really good time.
all right. Can you guys see the right one?
We can see the list from before.
Oh, okay. Hang on. Let me click off that. It's not cooperating.
Stand by.
There we go.
There we
Okay.
go.
You got it now? All right, here we go. Here's our 5.
All right.
All right, we got Gary Botchman, Jeff O'Keefe, Alex Bruyere, the Bourbon Engineer. Man, Chad Gazinski is a winner today.
There you go.
There's our
Awesome.
5.
Heck
Hey,
yeah.
Bourbon Engineer. All right. I know
Bourbon
that
Engineer. Bourbon Engineer is local here, a friend. It'll be awesome if he can be a part of this pick.
guy. Yeah.
Cool, man. So yeah, we'll start contacting you guys and verifying whether you can make it, and then we'll just work down that list if you can't.
Perfect.
All right. So I see Kevin in the chat says got his bottle last month. Everything went smooth. That's good.
Yep, that's what I was gonna. Yeah, good, man. Good. Yeah, Whiskey Corner said, fortunately, the emails went to spam. We'll get you in there on another one, Whiskey Corner. We'll I think everybody's gonna get a chance at some of these. Mike said this was a good month, cool group to be in, and for all the great charities. And yeah, guys, we're still working on getting some charities on here too to talk to you guys. We're actively working on that. So.
Yep. All right. Any other comments we need to get back to here, Lance?
Mike was saying the video I did for Shelf Turrets. I don't know.
I still have to catch that rewatch. We've been.
Oh, it was a good one.
That was, it was a big weekend. It was a big weekend.
Yeah, we were busy with my 40th birthday activities, and I have not watched the stream in totality, so I have to catch that.
They raised over $31,000 for her dad. It was
That's
awesome.
amazing. That's amazing.
So amazing.
To date, I think that is the most successful Whiskey Tube fundraiser, period, which is awesome.
Yeah,
Just a testament to how amazing this community is.
for sure.
It can
So
be
Brian-
stressful. It can be stressful though. That's why Bill's really leaving town right now. The weekend with everyone is too much.
Yeah, you guys wore me out.
So Brian has a question. She says, "Should I be concerned that I've never seen my name on any randomized list, even down at the bottom?" I don't know that we've got to the bottom since we have like 140 something
Yeah.
names.
Yeah, you've never seen the bottom of the list, Brian. And if it helps you, like all the board members are on that list for the allocated bottle list, and none of us take that.
we haven't even been anywhere close.
Yeah, so no, you shouldn't be worried. There's just a lot of names, but as the end of the year gets closer, I'm sure your name's going to pop up.
Yeah,
And again,
that list is going to shrink as we go through because everybody who's been drawn drops off.
Yep. And the way that, again, as a refresher, when your name is drawn, just to keep things fair and keep it moving on through the list, if you're drawn for a bottle, if you're drawn to go on a pick, those are two separate lists that exist at the same time. And if you get drawn for a bottle, your name drops off and goes to the bottom. Whether you purchase it or not, you go to the bottom, and then we just keep rolling. Your name still exists on the barrel pick list. And then once you get offered to go on a barrel pick, if you can come, great. If you can't make it happen, then you go to the bottom and we just keep rolling through. And, it would be really nice, like if your name gets drawn in like November or December for an allocated bottle. I'm sure we're all looking forward to that season. But, as the randomizer giveth and taketh away. And, so I just capitalize on the opportunities that you have and look forward to giving everybody an opportunity.
So, like, just to give you guys an idea, on the picks that we do, we've done 3 picks, and we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 members. I think 9 or 10 members, somewhere around there, on the picks. But we've knocked off almost 30 names from people that we've gone through. So I keep an Excel sheet for the allocated picks and for the barrel picks. And then we just knock them off as we go, as your name's drawn. So that's how it works.
Cool.
I mean, what's those percentages? 40 out of 140 people is like, we're almost 30% of the way through the list.
Oh,
yeah.
So Gary's got a question here in the chat. Any new picks we're looking into? Yeah, Gary. So we only have 2 more picks left for this year or season to schedule as part of our 6. And we are actively trying to make one of those a 4-gate. That is our target. That is our goal. We can't guarantee that that's going to happen. But I know Narav's fighting for us with his distributors because, again, even the stores and as much influence as Narav has, which is why he's able to, help us get these, he's still at the mercy of the distributors. So we are actively working. That is our number one goal. And then we are running through them with Narav to see what that last one will be. So,
yeah. And I'll just tell you guys from personal experience, like Narav knows that's like our number one goal. And he is like a bulldog with these picks, and he goes after his distributors. So I have no doubt he is fighting for us to get one of those.
Yep. But we still got time, right? Like we're only halfway through the year and we've only got 2 picks left to schedule. So we're doing pretty good as far as the schedule goes.
And I would like to say in the chat, Harbinger Chaos says I was able to update my address at Patreon pretty easily. Gives me nice peace of mind since, those UPS guys are the worst, by the way. But, says the 21-year UPS man. But, just poke around in your settings. You'll find it in there. And then I also have to call out Ethan at Drifting Drams. Josh flexing that percent knowledge, asking for that. 100% no. 100% no. Nobody wants that. Like once Reggie took over, like I can't tell you guys, we hoped the board expansion was going to be something that was going to be beneficial to you guys as members of the club. And I think speaking for myself, like already just being in the room with Kim and Bill and Reggie talking at board meetings that we've had, it like we have the club has become elevated so far beyond, and we don't have to get into specifics, but like Reggie has projections going on and like all kinds of stuff. It's just we are, this organization has leveled up with this, and it has been very eye-opening and very amazing and very encouraging.
Yeah, so that's actually a good point. Reggie has some amazing production sheet. I mean, this is what he does professionally. And we haven't even gotten to the point where we're actually paying for some of these barrels yet, because we got to get them in hand and send them out to you guys. So we got to get a ways into that to get our financial projections more solidified. But because we are a registered nonprofit, we are going to be a public charity, we are going to have that information, our financials, at least at the year-end review, like our year-end meeting, available for all our members for review. Just like we've got that public folder with all our meeting minutes in that. So we do want to share that with you guys when we have good data for you. But just know that that's not going to be a secret from you guys.
Yeah. Bourbon Engineer said change the gate to roses. I think 4 Roses is one of the hardest picks to get. But they love charities, so yes, I think that that's a possibility. This year, no, but next year I think that's a real possibility.
Yeah, I think that's a good target for next year. Kevin says, will the Middle West pick be a rye? Yes, that is going to be their dark pumpernickel rye. That is the only rye they have, and it's just mind-blowing.
Yeah, cask strength. If you're not a rye person, I totally get that. I'm definitely more bourbon than rye. With that said, this is not rye like you've ever had rye before. It's not herbaceous. It's not dilly. No. It's none of that. It is dark and rich and dense and sweet and beautiful. All the things I say about Joe when he's not around.
So and don't worry, all you rye guys, don't worry, because it still has some rye spice and stuff and some boldness that you're gonna like as well. So yeah, it's got something for everybody.
Oh yeah.
For anybody that's familiar with the 13th Colony Double Oak, it's as dark as the 13th Colony Double Oak.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, Brian. That's right. You like some of those ryes. All right. What else we got? Did we miss some questions in the chat here? You know, I'm actually disappointed with how this stream is going so far. We haven't heard from Dan yet. Well, Dusty Dan is just sitting back there pouring himself a drink.
What are you drinking over there, Dan?
Huh?
What are you drinking over there, Dan?
I mean, I've had a couple pours. I had the start. I don't know if you're familiar with this one, but I had the People's Bourbon first.
Oh,
I've heard of that one. Heard it's all right.
That sounds familiar.
Yep, I had that first, and then I moved on to what did I have? I poured a little bit of J.W. Kelly, and then I just poured some Old Forester, single barrel proof, and I had some Rebecca Creek as well, the double barrel finished Spanish oak. So
nice.
How is that, the Rebecca Creek?
It's good.
This one I love. The one that's finished in Spanish oak is fantastic. I had to try to find a backup of it. So really, really good stuff. It's very dark. It's got those dark flavors, kind of like that 13th Colony Double Oak does. Not on that kind of level, but still just big, bold flavors, very pronounced. It's really good, though.
So we got a couple of good questions coming in here. Before I got to that, Dan, I can't even remember if I've talked to you since my DC trip and my big 12-day 20 distillery tour. And man, Sagamore was awesome. And then I think you sent us over to Old Line?
Yeah.
Oh man, Old Line was amazing. That was so amazing.
Old Line is that's really cool. Did you get to try their single malt at all?
Dude, yes. I'm telling you, it is, and I'm not a big American single malt guy, but it is truly, without a doubt, the best American single malt I've ever had.
Yeah.
I got a bottle of their Navy Strength. I got their sherry cask finished. We tried their rum. It was hands down. There is no other American single malt on the market that is better than Old Line.
Yeah.
And I'll stand behind that comment.
Let's do an old line pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. I got his card. I asked Artie to do a pick with the Whiskey Society. So a couple questions here. Big Vix, sorry late. What's the ETA in the first release? So we kind of talked about it. We don't have an actual ETA. Like Lance had posted, we did get word from Heaven Hill that they dumped our barrels. We're still expecting 4 to 5 weeks processing those, get them bottled, getting them to Narav. So that still puts us a couple weeks out, which potentially puts us right in line with the Hard Truth as well. So, end of, mid-end of June, beginning of July timeframe, hopefully we've actually got 2 bottles coming to you guys. So that's that. And then Kevin's hitting some great questions here. Kim, he says, any details on gathering in 2024? You want to talk about what we've been looking into?
Sure. We are certainly looking into it. We are looking into the June, July timeframe next year. We're looking at a number of different locations in the Ohio, Tennessee, Indiana area. So the goal is to have a date and a place locked down no later than September. But we'll keep you all updated as we are doing our research and learning more.
Yep, awesome. Let's see. What else we got in the chat here?
That sounds like a good question. I'm not sure I quite follow.
So do we have a cutoff in regards to seeing what picks will be done this year? Since it was mentioned we are being selective with the picks. So we only have 2 left to select.
Yeah.
And we're fighting for those. And really, so if you look at a full 12-month period, right, of the year, if I can get in the screen here, we really have between now and really like January to get these next 2 picks in to still get you bottles within that 12-month period. So we're really ahead of the schedule on getting the picks done. Of course, we're obviously waiting for the bottles, and then we only have 2 more picks to select. So again, I don't know if you caught that or not, but we're really fighting for a 4-gate. We can't guarantee it. That's our number 1 pick, but we're on the lookout for special stuff.
And Joe, I'll add some context to that because without context, you guys may not know how many barrel picks A1 does, or it's not like they've only got 10 to 15 and we're really waiting and we might miss out on barrels. That's not the case. Narav does 50 to 60 barrel picks a year, and he's donating, 6 of those to us. So he just doesn't know what he's got throughout the year. The distributor calls him, lets him know what the allocations are. And he's waiting to hear from multiple distributors. So it's a little complicated, and we just, we really have no way of knowing. But, if something like a Nulu pick comes in and it's just we're not going to do a Nulu pick, just a plain Nulu bourbon for you guys. More than likely we're trying to pass on those and get you guys something really good. So,
yeah, truth be told, with that, to that point, we have passed on a few picks just because we feel like we want to be able to bring the club really good whiskey. And not that, to use Lance's example, just for Nulu, that's an easy example, sourced MGP. We're trying to bring you guys something that's a little bit different or a little bit a cut above, or if it's a legacy pick like Heaven Hill with an ECBP pick, stuff like that. We're really trying to step, above and beyond. So we've turned down a few picks, and I will say I live in Tennessee. I live in Nashville, Tennessee, for those that don't know. And the Illinois, because A1 is in Effingham, Illinois, the way that the pick process goes from retailer to distributor and the way you get your picks is a lot different than it is in the state of Tennessee, at least. So this has been a really eye-opening process to be on the back end of, to see that, like, okay, you're going to get a wave of picks that hit A1 and all the other stores in the area, and it's getting your hands on whichever picks of those that you want. And it's different than we do it here. I'm sure it is different from a lot of other states, or it might be exactly like your state does it. But I think I want to reiterate how important it is for us not to just take the picks that we can get, but to make sure we're being selective about bringing really good whiskey to you guys. And that's important to us on the board.
Yeah, and then I will add to that it is a little bit of a balancing act in that, you know, Narav is offering us some great barrels like Elijah Craig Barrel Proof and Hard Truth and hopefully a 4-gate. And while we don't want this to be we want this to be a 50-50 relationship, right? We want to help him as much as he's helping us. So we can't just get 4-gates and 4 roses and that kind of thing. We might have to get, and I just use Nula as an example because like Josh said, it's sourced MGP and that's something most people can get. We're trying to balance uniqueness, stuff you can't get, but then also we can't always get the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof picks. So like we've looked at a Blue Note pick would be great because that's a cheaper barrel that's really good that a lot of people are after. That's a little bit unique. So we're taking all those things into factor, and basically we bring it to the board and we throw it out there, let them know what Narav has, and we decide whether we want to pick that or wait till something else comes in. So how we've been handling it.
Yeah, and then the other thing to remember, not only state to state for distributors, but it's different when you're a retailer doing a barrel pick versus like a private group doing a barrel pick and you're going through the distillery bottle shop, which is legal to do in Kentucky. So all kinds of different variables around that, but we are advocating for you guys and looking for making sure we have interesting stuff. Mike says, any contact with Bardstown Bourbon Company about a pick? Yeah, I mean, there's people with some contacts with Bardstown Bourbon Company floating around here, and we're not only looking at this year's stuff because we've got to solidify 2 more picks, but we're looking for next year and the year after that, right? So we've got to make sure we have a long-term sustainable schedule for you guys to keep these going. So yeah, Kevin says Found North. Yep, those are other things we're looking at. Blue Notes we're looking at. We're looking at all kinds of stuff. So.
Yeah, we're exploring a lot of options to bring you guys good whiskey.
Yep. So to put it in perspective for everyone, does a little quick Google research here. According to the American Distilling Institute, there are over 2,230 distilleries now in the United States, including craft and heritage. And of those 2,230, 809 specialize in whiskey or bourbon. So there are a ton of different options out there that actually some of them are making really good whiskey that a lot of people have never heard of. There's the name escapes me. I could Google it real quick here, but there's a distillery out of Louisiana that actually is a rice farm. That
JT
Mellett. There we go. I knew Dan would know it. I think you brought that bottle, didn't you?
No, that wasn't mine. That was the Turks.
Oh, okay. So they're making an American rice whiskey that I'm telling you what, don't stub your nose at, because it is one of the best whiskeys I've tried in the last couple of years.
You know, I mean, another one too, and I'm not sure if a lot of people have heard of them, but O.H. Ingram.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if a lot of people have heard of them, but that was actually one of the samples that I tried during the Ascots, and it was my highest graded whiskey, and it was their single barrel rye. I mean, I scored a 98, but in total, it got I believe it got a double platinum.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, just fantastic stuff. I mean, I reached out to them to see if there's any more, but the single barrels are gone, unfortunately. But they do have their flagship bourbon and a rye available that are both fantastic as well. So.
Yeah, and we could go on and on. I'm sure everybody watching in the chat here and everybody on the screen knows the late great Dave Pickerel and all the work that he did expanding American distilling in the country. And Ragged Branch in Virginia they're only producing 1 barrel a day, but those barrels they're producing are amazing, absolutely amazing. And he helped them get off the ground.
Yeah, and I will say too, it's for those of you that don't know, like the barrel pick team and the board members we have and their knowledge of all this is really beneficial, because Narav was not carrying Middle West until we told him about it, and he reached out and got us a single barrel like really quick and started carrying their stuff. So with Dusty and Joe and Josh and Bill's knowledge and Kim's, we're in good hands, guys. It's pretty awesome.
And Big Vic says Boone County is a really good whiskey.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it is.
their single barrel weeded bourbons are, man,
Yeah.
super good.
Yep.
All right,
Yeah, Boone County is an option for us, but we looked into it. I think they had was it 6 or 7 year?
7 year.
It was 7 year.
They have 7 year getting ready. Ohio just today or yesterday released a 7-year pick from Boone County that they did a while ago, and I was there 3 weeks ago on the way back from that long trip, and they had some they were getting ready to bottle in the next couple of weeks, so they're probably bottling it right now.
Yeah.
Let's see. Anything else we missed in the chat here?
I don't see anything else.
I don't think so. Anybody out there watching have any more questions or anything we need to share with you that we might be missing?
We're here for you guys, so let us know if you need something.
I'm pretty excited to the bourbon engineer, I'll be able to meet him again. But everybody else, I'm excited that got selected for the Middle West pick. I'm excited to get down to Columbus. Maybe take the group over to the shoe, right? Get some pictures in front of a stadium of a good football team.
Oh, Jesus.
Literally, Aaron from the other end of the house yelled OH.
And Jess,
I just vomited in my mouth
when she said that. Oh my goodness! Go Bucks! Oh, Brian!
Brian knows. I mean, that's better than the Bucks.
Oh, Brian, you're killing
It's not very good, but it's better than the Bucks. At least it's in the right conference.
You knew that was coming, Joe.
Yeah. That's okay. That's all right.
Boy, that last bowl game was tough, though, Joe.
Yeah,
I do want to say something. That I had something cataloged in my head, and we got off on something else. Inevitably, some of the picks that if we get some of the picks that we want to get over time, right? Like there are places that exist that do picks that don't have a physical location that you can actually be there in person to do a pick. So we could just do a virtual pick, and that is a possibility. But Joe's idea was that if we do have a pick that is going to be a virtual pick, we have a get together where we still draw names, we still have people come in, and we can probably have 10 people on one of those picks, and we just get together at some location that's kind of centralized, that you can do other things around as well, like Bardstown or Louisville or something like that. We get together, we do the pick together, then we also do a bunch of other fun whiskey stuff while we're all together. So that was a fantastic idea that Joe had. And so if you get drawn, if we're doing a pick, something like Blue Note, where it's primarily a virtual pick, or truth be told, the Four Gate's probably going to be a virtual pick, we're going to get together in Whiskey Town, USA, and we're going to have a blast together. So don't think for a second that we may not be picking in a rick house, but there's picks that at distilleries where you don't get to pick in a rick house.
I'm sure we could make some calls and taste our picks in a rick house somewhere.
Yeah. Let me borrow your rick house, Ben.
I mean, it might look at us a little weird, but
I also love it, Joe, that you were talking about something and you were like, I'll tell you what, this is one of the best whiskeys. And then from down here in Tennessee, it would not be pronounced that way. It'd be like, I tell you what, man, this is a dang good whiskey.
I know. I got family in the Follett, Tennessee, but my Ohio northern kind of ness that still sticks around. So
I'll tell you what, that's a great whiskey, sir.
Well, see, I can't sound like that because I have all my teeth. So
it would sound similar in South Carolina, just a little slower.
Yeah. I tell you what, that's a good bottle of whiskey.
Yeah, Chad. Yeah. That's our idea. We still want to do a get together. We want to create that kind of experience, camaraderie, getting people, who probably maybe haven't met each other before still together. So that's the plan.
Yeah,
Hey, guys,
the more of you guys we can meet, the funner the year-end event's going to be. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we're looking forward to meeting everybody. That's my favorite part.
Yep.
guys,
So-
it's getting really dark here. You're not seeing much of me anyway. I'm going to drop off.
Yeah, I don't think we have any more questions. There's no reason to keep people later than we already are on a Thursday. So, unless there's any last minute quick attacks in the chat, which I'm not seeing, that's pretty much it. Congratulations to everyone who got drawn for the bottles. Congratulations for those of you on the Middle West pick. I'll be coordinating with Kim, and we'll be getting information out to you guys on hotels and activities and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, one more thing, Joe.
Yep.
Cheers to everybody that's lost their life defending our country. Happy Memorial Day, everybody.
Thank you very much. Happy Memorial Day.
Yep. Love you guys.
Cheers. Love you all.
Cheers,
Cheers.
guys.
Everybody have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend.